All right, everyone. Welcome to your first ever Midweek Mania face-off. I am your New England insider and your co-host, B Mad Dog.
And I'm Teran Rodriguez, the SoCal insider and host of Set Point here on IE Sports Radio.
Your direct feed in all that sports. So NFL week is upon us finally, as we got two big face-offs for you today, which is the Steelers and the Jets Sunday at 1 o'clock. Our Long Island Steelians or Ralph Calise going on one-on-one with Joey Jets. And later tonight, battle of the weekly co-host for the Monday night opener. Glenn Ritter and Minnesota Vikings taking on Adam Karnick and the Chicago Bears. Are you excited, Taran, or what?
Oh, yeah. It is officially on. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's going to be a great week of NFL to start things off. And I'm excited that the NFL is back. I know everyone is chomping at the bit, but I think it's going to be a fun first week.
It definitely is. You're not kidding. It's going to be an amazing first week. I cannot wait to get started. We've been looking for what seems like an eternity for a double face-off, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So before we introduce our first two insiders, we are going to give thanks to a few of our local sponsors. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Hi, eSports Radio fans. This show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
All right, everyone. This is it, your double face-off. First, before we begin, I'd like to thank Planet Jerky, Premium Brisket Jerky, the best jerky that's on another planet, and our other sponsor, Taran.
Vital Apparel, which donates to mental health. So thank you to them as well.
And you can follow us on X. We just got Instagram back. TikTok, where we're thriving, and here on YouTube Live. Especially, you can join your boy, same as X, at BMA Dog 617 right here. You can promote me or all our other great insiders. We're upping up the shorts game just in time for what feels like Christmas is the NFL season. 1 day away. Holy cow.
And you can follow me personally as well at Teran Rodriguez 1 on X, which is mainly where I'm active. So without any further delay, let's get on into those face-offs.
Absolutely. Before we announce one of our first insiders for this face-off, a guy that was on here weeks ago defending about me, we have one insider appearing via satellite tonight. Ralph Calise, our host of our Pittsburgh and Long Island insider, couldn't make it tonight, but he did. He is in spirit, like our Wisconsin insider Dan a few weeks ago. So he has some great videos for us. But you want to introduce our next one, Teran?
Yes, representing the New York Jets Jets. He is our New York insider. He's pretty much our Swiss Army knife insider for iSports Radio, covering all things, whether it's the Jets, the Florida Panthers, all the Miami Hurricanes. The list goes on and on. And he is back for his second primetime face-off here on Midweek Mania. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Jets.
Jets, Jets. What's up, boys? How
Great to see you again. I can't say the word Jets enthusiastically. I don't know why, but
it's hard for me to do it too. I had to swallow a lot of pride just now, just doing that.
That was me the past 2 years. So, are you guys
Try
ready?
20.
You mark. Get set. Face off.
Let's go.
All right. You're going to start off first with our famous X Factor question. Who and what are your X Factors for this opening game for the Jets and the Steelers, Joey? Because you guys want to make an impact right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely. And X Factor wise, I got three. Justin Fields, obviously, number one. You know, this is his first game as a Jet starting quarterback. He's facing his old team. The team only let him start 6 games and then cast him to the side for Russell Wilson. Mind you, Justin Fields had a starting record, so I think not starting record, a winning record, starting with the Steelers 4-2 before they benched him for Russ. So I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's got something to prove out there. He's got to show that he can handle the pressure. T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, whoever else is throwing at him, he's got to be able to show that he can, read the play, and when the play breaks down, because it's going to happen at some point, just use his legs. He's a smart guy. He can run. Either use your check downs or just get out of the pocket and make something happen with the ball. Leads me into my second X factor is our running game. You got Breece Hall, you got Braylon Allen, you got Isaiah Davis, and you got the aforementioned Justin Fields who can run it as well. Utilize that. We're going to be a run-heavy team. Give us a heavy dose right off the bat and just show what we can do. And it's going to be a little hard, honestly, now with the early news from earlier today that we just lost Elijah Vera-Tucker. Expected, it's not totally confirmed yet, but AVT likely out for the season with a torn tricep. So it's going to be a makeshift offensive line. Probably you'll see Joe Tippmann at right guard, Josh Myers at starting center. But hopefully that they still make something happen back there. And then our pass rush. You got to put Aaron Rodgers on the ground and keep him guessing the entire time. You got the returning Jermaine Johnson from injury. You got Will McDonald. You got the Williams brothers, Quincy and Quinnen. Get after Rodgers and just make his day a living hell. Those are my X factors for this game.
All right, very good, Joe. And now we are going to hear from our Pittsburgh insider, Ralph Calise.
Hello, everyone. This is Ralph Calise, Pittsburgh insider for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is going to be my Midweek Mania question response to the Steelers versus the Jets, Week 1. So this is for Brian and Teran for their show Midweek Mania. The first part for the face-off versus the Jet insider, I believe Joey Jets, was who are the X factors of the Steelers for this game. I will say the X factors for the Steelers right now are unknown because the Steelers have a 78% roster redo. And there are all new players on both sides of the ball. And we have not seen any of that yet because Aaron Rodgers didn't play in the preseason. We saw a couple of plays with the wide receivers and the tight ends, but nothing major. So the offense is definitely going to be different. So that's an unknown right there. And we have Aaron Rodgers, of course. And the defense is going to be also unknown because the whole secondary is different. You have great players now in the secondary, so that might be the strength of the Steelers, the defense. And can they shut down Justin Fields will be the question, and Garrett Wilson. And that'll be the main thing, because Steelers' communication last year was very bad, very bad. So whoever was running the defense was saying the wrong plays or giving out the wrong sets. But now you have a stacked defense. Defensive line, linebackers, and you have that brand new secondary with Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. You still have Joey Port. You still have Deshaun Elliott, Justin Thornhill, and you have a former Jet, Braden Eccles, who is going to be coming in on third down plays and long yardage plays. So that, as far as who are the X factors of the Steelers are the X factors in that question, because to me it's unknown because of the roster turnover.
Oh, wow. That was a pretty good response. His team is the X factors. That's like saying the sky is blue, but thank you very much, Ralph, if you're listening right now. So want to introduce us to the second question, Teran?
Absolutely. Let's go to the fire round. So what do you think your team can take advantage of the other team when it comes to your team's benefit? So we start off with Joey having the first question, but now let's have Ralph have the first question when it comes to round two.
All right, so continuing on, this is again for Midweek Mania. This is part 2. And this is, what do you feel the Steelers can take advantage of the Jets to use to their benefit? Well, first off, there is going to be a lot of Steeler fans in the Meadowlands this Sunday, because it came out on ticket sales through all the major ticket sale places. There was a 48% gain of Steeler fans buying tickets for this game. I, for one, will be there live as a Steeler fan. So I'm hoping the terrible towels waving gets the Jets a little flustered in their home stadium, and we can use that as an advantage on defense. Maybe get a little loud. I don't think louder than the Jet fans, but maybe a little loud. And the other thing is that I believe the Steelers now, don't forget, and this goes for the Jets too, both quarterbacks are playing on opposite sides this year. So Aaron Rodgers, of course, played for the Jets last year, and Justin Fields, of course, played for the Steelers, only in 6 games, which I thought he should have played more, because he didn't do anything wrong in any of those 6 games. Even though they lost 2 of them, he did not do anything wrong. But what I do feel could be an advantage for the Steelers is that they know Justin Fields. They actually beat Justin Fields the year before the Steelers traded for him, when he was with Chicago, and they seen his actions, as a Steeler practice or whatnot. And don't forget, the other advantage I feel the Steelers would have with that, of course, with Justin Fields, is they do play against the running quarterback in the division, Lamar Jackson, who is one of the best. So if they can play like they do against Lamar Jackson versus Justin Fields, I believe that can be a big advantage for the Steelers. So that would be my advantages the Steelers could take advantage of for the Jets to their benefit in this Game 1 Steelers versus Jets.
All right, that was Ralph Calise with his response to the fire round on what his team can do to exploit the weaknesses of the New York Jets. Now let's take it over to Joey. What do you think the Jets can do to take advantage of the Steelers to help benefit his team in trying to get the win?
So similarly, like Ralph was talking about, the familiarity at quarterback. It was that Fields was a Steeler last year, Rodgers was a Jet last year. And for us, I think we need to take advantage of Rodgers' age and lack of mobility back there in the pocket. And at the same time that many, if not most of the players on our defense practiced alongside or against Rodgers for most of the last 2 seasons, all of 2024, the offseason of 2023, and then at the time when he started to come back towards the end of 2023, trying to return. They know his habits. They know good and bad. They know his routine, and they can exploit that. Just and at the same time, the key is going to be pressuring Rodgers because he can make some mistakes back there in the pocket. Last year, his completion percentage when he was under pressure was 45%. So we need to actually sit there and just be just coming at him, exploit the fact that he cannot run like Justin Fields can. We have the advantage there. Collapse the pocket, get the pass rush in there, and just take advantage of that. And we, at the same time, we talk about the crowd there. We know the Steelers fans travel well. It's a well-known fact. No matter where they go, they represent. So we need to just drown that out as much as possible, but take advantage of Aaron Rodgers.
All right. That is a great little game plan right there. Very nice game plan because, as I think Ralph said it best, both teams are facing their former teams from last year, which is going to have a lot of storylines. So now let's have Brian over here introduce the round 3 question.
All right, here is the lightning round. Bolt up. All right, what is your game plan for the Jets, Joey? What do they need to do to win this week 1 opening kickoff?
Really, so like I was saying, we need to establish our identity, which is going to be running the ball. Establish the run very early with a heavy dose of Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and some design runs from Justin Fields as well. Get that going. Take some chances. You can't be an only run-heavy team, but we need to take some chances downfield. You got Garrett Wilson. You got the rookie Arian Smith, who has that deep playability. He's got the speed for it. Utilize those guys and just take some chances downfield and try to make something happen. And like I just said before, pressure the hell out of Aaron Rodgers. You got the guys to do it. Put him on his butt. That's my game plan. And I think if we do all those things well, we can come out of here with a victory.
Absolutely. Very good. And now we're going to go to see Ralph Calise, see his response for the lightning round.
Okay, so this is part 3 of the Midweek Mania show for the Steelers versus Jets. And, of course, I'm doing the Steelers side. It is, what is your game plan for your team? What do they need to win? What do they need to do to win? Okay, so let's get back to the offense, which is new. Aaron Rodgers will be running the offense. New wide receiver, DK Metcalf. Tight ends galore on the Steelers that could be wide receivers. So they beefed up the offense to throw the ball. And what game plan I want to see them do to put to the Jets is throw. Now, the Jets have a good secondary. I'm not saying nothing bad about their secondary. They have a good secondary. But Aaron Rodgers, if he can whip the ball around to his wide receivers and these tight ends, which are going to be a plenty full to cover, you're not going to know who he's throwing the ball to. The Steelers will be having new plays, and I feel if they can throw the ball with a mild running game, running here and there, but if Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball against that nice Jet defense, secondary especially, I feel that that's what the game plan should be, and just start throwing the ball all over the Meadowlands and get points on the board, because that's what the Steelers need. They need points on the board, and then let the defense just go after Justin Fields. Just straight go after him. Get a lead. Do not get behind. I think it's predominant if the Steelers get behind and they have to play from behind, it's going to be tough for them to win. But get a lead, get a hefty lead, get a 10, 13, 14-point lead, and just go balls out versus the Jets. Send everybody. Let Jalen Ramsey do his thing in the secondary. He's going to be running all over the secondary. You don't know who he's going to. There's going to be so many disguises on defense that nobody's ever seen. So it's going to be tough. Be a tough to game plan. It's a tough game 1 to week plan, I feel, on both sides to see what they would need to do to win. But my main thing would be is to get a big lead, 13, 14-point lead, double-digit lead, and just let hell rush loose on the Jets and see where they can go from there. So that would be my game plan to get a win.
All right. That was a great job by Ralph on that, which is before we get your response, Joey, let's get into the comment section, shall we? Josh Ritter, our utility insider, saying, "What's up, boy? Yay, Joey. Best friends during Panther season, worst of enemies during football season."
Hey,
Here's
it's
Stephanie.
all good.
Here's Stephanie there. So I cannot wait to get your response, Joe. This is a fun debate so far. And now it's your lightning round response.
I already did my game plan, didn't I?
That's right.
Yeah, I think it should be. We should be on round 4.
All
I
right.
can say it again if you want.
Oh, my bad. But we have a first of our kind insider exclusive round, and here is yours, Joey. So Ralph will get his own question. Glenn and Adam later will get their own question relating to their team, kind of like a personal question, but in your team merged as one. So
it's like potpourri for your team.
Yeah, it's the Jets. I don't know if it's going to smell very good, but here we go. All right, so who is under the most pressure to perform this Sunday coming off a disappointing season, Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson? Both very good options here. I would really argue that Garrett Wilson did not have a disappointing season last year. He was a 1,000-yard receiver again for the third straight season. So I would really say Breece Hall. And the reason for that is he has no contract next year. He doesn't know where he's going to be. He's on the last year of his rookie deal. There has not been really any talks about him re-signing. And at the same time, there's been a lot of trade rumors about him. I don't want to see him go anywhere. I want him to be the starting running back for the Jets for another next, 4 or 5 years. I want him to be part of this core that we have with Garrett and Sauce and everybody else right now. But he also has that the rest of that running back room with Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. And if they feel like, Breece is the odd man out, they can also tab Braylon Allen as the starter later on in the season if things aren't going our way, if we're sitting there at 2-5 or whatever when the trade deadline rolls around, which is a very good possibility. So I think Breece Hall really does have the most pressure to perform this Sunday and for the rest of the season. And plus being in a run-heavy offense, he's going to really have to show that he is the guy in this backfield.
All right. Very good, Joe. And now we're going to get Ralph's thoughts on this right momentarily. Can't wait to see what his response is because the quarterback switching is an obvious storyline, but let's see how he responds.
Okay, so this will be part 4 of the Midweek Mania showdown between the Steelers and Jets. And, of course, me, Ralph Calise, is doing the Pittsburgh Steelers side of it. And the fourth part of this was an insider exclusive. So, yes, I am IESR Pittsburgh Steelers insider for IE Sports Radio. And the exclusive is Aaron Rodgers the answer for the Steelers this season? And I must say, it's all right there in the question. This season, yes, Aaron Rodgers was the answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers was the answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers way back when free agency started. The Steelers knew who they wanted after Justin Fields signed with the Jets, saying that, he wanted to play for the Steelers, but he was mad because of what happened to him last year, as far as Mike Tomlin pulling the rug out underneath him for Russell Wilson, which I totally agree was a bonehead move. But yes, Aaron Rodgers was the guy left that the Steelers really needed. They wanted a veteran quarterback. They wanted someone who had playoff experience because of this disastrous run the Steelers have been going through when they make the playoffs. They can't win. The past 6 or 7 years, even with Big Ben's last 2 years, Ben Roethlisberger, they have not had a quarterback of any, and I'll say this even though Aaron Rodgers is 41, of any type of talent of Aaron Rodgers in the past 7 to 8 years. I mean, if he could throw for 3,800 yards and 27 TDs like he did for the Jets last year, I'll take that in a heartbeat. And the answer is a legitimate YES. Yes, Aaron Rodgers was a great move for the Steelers this season. Important part there, this season.
All right. Good for Ralph, but Now we are going to be in our final round, but before we get that, let's see the comment section. You're not going to get the last name, Brian? Not going to
I'm
even
going to try to guess and say that it's Quartermanche or Quartermanche.
Quartermanche. All right, and Josh has something to say as well. I agree that Garrett Wilson wasn't disappointed last year. He's a top 5 wideout in the NFL, just hasn't come together for the offense overall. As Ralph has something to be proud of. His coach, Mike Tomlin, whether they're fed up with him or not, or Pittsburgh, he's never had a losing season at Pittsburgh, something the Jets probably should have had the past 2 years. As a Patriots fan, I admit they should have been better the past few years, and I know we can actually see eye to eye on that, Joey. But before we do, Ralph will have his chance via satellite to tell the audience why he should win the face-off over you, Joey, and vice versa. Coming next, this is the final video of the night, as the rest of the performance will be in person. Let's see what Ralph has to say. Will he wave that terrible towel?
Okay, so this will be the last part for the Midweek Mania show with Brian and Teran and the Steelers versus Jets. So the final thought, this is the 5th part, is why should the audience choose the Steelers over the Jets? I don't like the way that question was presented, because I personally would never tell another person or fan why my team should be chosen over your team. Because if you're a fan of a team, you would never choose the other team over your team. So that's what the question is asking. But I wouldn't tell Joey Jets, I wouldn't tell you why I'm choosing the Steelers over the Jets. This would just be my prediction. A prediction. I can't tell you why. I can't choose why I want the Steelers to win. I just give you a prediction because the game has to be played. So my prediction is it's going to be a close game. The Steelers will hopefully win by 3 points. 3 points. It's going to be a close game, like I said. And, I'm not choosing to tell anyone why I want my team to win over another team. I will predict my team over another team, because there are times I would predict them to lose. So, just to answer that question real quick, Steelers by 3. We'll go in the 20 range, 23-20, 27-24, 26-23, anything by 3. But the Steelers, and I will be there, and I will have my terrible towel. I will be watching TJ Watt. And let's go Steelers, and good luck to the Jets. Take care, guys.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Ralph, for his performance tonight. He does a great job with the shorts, basically doing 2 regions in one with Long Island and Pittsburgh. So now it's your turn, Joey. Now you can present not only your score prediction, but why do you think the audience should choose you over Ralph to win this face-off and go 2-0?
2-0 sounds good to me. I like we'll see how the Jets do this year. So prediction-wise, I'll start with that one. I think we're on the same page on that. I also see it by 3 points. It's going to be a very close, evenly matched game, just like this face-off was. I got 20-17 Jets. I think it's going to be very close all the way from start to finish, and we'll somehow hang it out there. But in order to sell myself to the audience here, I think I just came out here with the good energy and just the vibe that I'm passionate about my team, just like Ralph is. Ralph's passionate about his Steelers. Hell, he's going into, I want to say enemy territory, because half the crowd is going to be Steeler fans, but he's going out there to in a visiting environment, repping his terrible towel. Great move. I do that all the time with Jets versus Dolphins down here in Miami. I enjoy it. That is a great move. If I had to say why I won this face-off, I think it's just presenting a very good argument, and I think honestly this can go either way. But we both did a really good job. But hey, if you're like rooting for the underdog, pick this guy.
All right, underdog indeed for the Jets trying to adopt that monkey, or kind of like the Browns did, and it was a really good 1:00 feature game for CBS. I believe they have the doubleheader that week, as Fields on one side, Rodgers on the other side, as the Jets had both offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year in Sauce Gardner, rookie of the year with Garrett Wilson a few years back. And obviously they had one of the best defensive players in the game for the Steelers, as in TJ Watt. And you got the emergence of Caleb Johnson. So it's going with Aaron Rodgers. And you got Skittles, Taste the Rainbow, DK Metcalf from Seattle. How do you feel about this game, Teran, too, while we left the audience?
Well, I feel the NFL really tried to predict the Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh thing, and surprisingly, they were able to nail it right on the head. But I think this is going to be one of those sneaky good matchups. It's not the flashiest matchup on the docket this week, but it's going to be a fun matchup, and it feels like the Jets and the Steelers play each other at least one time a year. But I think this is going to be a fun matchup, and it's going to have quite a bit of storylines.
Absolutely. Let's see how we got so far. Good job to the both of you. So are we going to have a second consecutive draw on Midweek Mania, or are we going to have a winner? In 10, 9, there's a one vote. It's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, the votes are in. Whoever's running our account, I think Joey won the face-off, had great points. Josh like Joey, of course. Stephanie, Joey, a clean sweep. And your winner is Mr. Joey Jets.
All right, 2-0, baby.
2-0, unbeaten in Midweek Mania.
I think I need to retire now, boys. Go out undefeated. Let's call it a career.
You may get that opportunity. You never know, but hopefully you can be the first ever insider to have your team win. We won't know the results of Bob and Teran on Friday because they had a draw. So, any last words before we sign off?
Well, like you just said, I'm hoping I have a better fate this time around than I did during our debate with the Yankees and the Sox. Oh, that was just.
I love that.
That was. I know you did. I'm looking forward to the rematch in a little bit. I got the Yankee game on right in front of me right now. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I love being on here. This has been 2 times now. Let's keep it going. JETS, Jets, baby. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Joey. We will see you again with our chat, and hopefully again some point during the season if your team's doing a lot better than what people expect.
Please.
Have a good night, Joe.
Good night, boys.
Thanks, Joey. Congrats.
All right. Before we move on, Teran, what are your thoughts of this face-off, or double face-off so far?
Well, obviously it was tough for Ralph considering the circumstances, but honestly, he put up a good fight. I just think Joey, with his experience of being on here, I think just was a little bit too much for Ralph in terms of him being remote. So that was a great face-off, and we have another one on deck, and it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. A great rivalry. Before we take a break, for everyone who's confused watching, you vote for not team you like better. Like that one, this is why Larry our CEO doesn't want me at Teran choosing the winners, because obviously I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not going to pick against someone that's a Jets fan or a Yankee fan, or Teran won't pick against a San Francisco team, because it's who the insider had a better debate. I know it's confusing, and I apologize for the viewers, but you want to add more on that before we go into our first break?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it right there. We try to let the fans do their thing and let them pick, or the viewers pick the winner.
Absolutely. This is a lot of, and Josh Ritter, me and him can agree on something, but keep it 100%. Exactly. I try not to be biased.
Keep it 100.
And we have our second of our first ever double face-off historic episode. Coming right after the breaks, you're watching IE Sports Radio, your
direct feed for all that is sports.
Oof. Enjoy, guys.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Teran Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for a great face-off between Joey as he went 2-0. And now it's time for our second half of our doubleheader, our first ever. Would you like to talk more about this game, Teran, before we introduce our visitors? I'll introduce Glenn. You introduce Adam.
Yeah. So this matchup is actually going to be on Monday Night Football. It's going to be a very fun matchup. It's an NFC North matchup between two longtime rivals, the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings having themselves quite a surprise season, having one of the best records in the league. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears having another great offseason, looking to try to make some noise in the NFC North as well as the NFC as a whole, just because last year was kind of a little bit of an unfortunate year for them. Everyone had high hopes for them, and then unfortunately they just could not live up to the expectations. But without any further delay, let's get on into our combatants. Our first combatant is our insider for Chicago on IE Sports Radio. Covers everything Chicago, from the Bears to the Bulls to the White Sox. Yes, even the White Sox to the Cubs, to Northwestern, to Illinois, to all things Chicago on in the sports realm. But introducing the Chicago representative for the Chicago Bears, Mr. Adam Karnick. How you doing, Adam?
Welcome, Adam.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Really good.
Awesome. Excellent. Happy New Year. The football season is here. We can have some fun.
All right. And before we get into it, let me introduce to you our Minnesota Twin Cities insider, representing all of his teams, kind of passionate what I am in Boston, from SKOL, and our host of our fourth and fun Thursday game show every Thursday night. Please welcome our Minnesota Twin Cities insider, Mr. Glenn Ritter.
Hey,
Welcome,
what's up, guys? How you doing? Everybody doing good tonight? I am looking forward to having this matchup here with Adam. Adam, you doing all right?
I am now. Wait a minute. Are we doing Twins White Sox or are we doing Bears Vikings? You know, we can do either one.
I have given up on the Twins for the season. So,
well,
that started spring training, so it's all good.
I mean, after last night's game, I don't blame you. So,
that's they can't. Yeah, they're awful. But.
Yeah, but before we get into it, obviously, since you're the visiting team, you're gonna go first, Glenn. I am excited. Before I introduce, let me adjust the text for everybody here. I cannot wait. On your ready, get set, face off. We'll let Teran do the opening round, and since he's my co-host.
Right, so we'll start off with Glenn. So round one is the X Factor round. Who are your X Factors for this opening game and why? Glenn, we'll start with you.
All right, so last season the Vikings had great record, but fell apart in the playoffs, and the big change that they made was in the interior of the offensive line. I think that's going to be a huge factor with JJ McCarthy being inexperienced. This will be his first NFL start outside of the one preseason game where he led the team for one drive. They're going to need to run the ball. So the interior of the offensive line is going to have to pound away on the defensive line for the Bears. I think that's going to be huge. And then conversely, on the defensive side of the ball, you got Brian Flores and the Vikings front seven greatly improved with adding Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave in those defensive tackle positions after having Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel on the outside. I think that front seven is going to make it really difficult for Caleb Williams. If they can keep him in the pocket and not allow him to scramble and make plays on the run, because that's when he's going to be successful. That's where his talent is. Sitting in the pocket, throwing passes is not, and reading a defense is not necessarily his thing. Brian Flores, I think, is going to be doing a great job of confusing Caleb. I think those are the three: the interior of the offensive line, interior defensive line, and Brian Flores are going to be the keys to the Vikings if they want to win.
All right, very good, Glenn. Now it's time for Adams.
Well, Glenn, it sounded like you were cribbing off my notes there for your X Factor. I'm gonna give you two, and my first one, the exact same place you started, Glenn. This game is all going to be about the trenches for the Bears. They have three new starters on the interior for their offensive line: Joe Thuney at left guard, Drew Dahlman, who came over in a big free agent deal coming from Atlanta to Chicago with a new starting center, and then Jonah Jackson, a trade that the Bears made with the Rams to bring Jackson over to be the new starting right guard. That is going to be a massive place. We know Brian Flores loves to bring pressure from everywhere. The Bears offensive line is really going to have to stand up and have a strong game right out of the gate. Those three guys, they've worked together in the preseason, but now the bullets are flying and it's real. How can the offensive line stand up? And on the defensive side, it's going to be at corner. Jalen Johnson has been out since late July. He injured his groin literally on the eve of training camp. He practiced today, but to me, there's no way that he goes the entire game. So you're going to have a rotation there between Jalen Johnson and Nashawn Wright, a former Viking who spent time on the Vikings practice squad guarding Justin Jefferson. Now, the fact that the Vikings were willing to let him go I think speaks a little bit there, but we'll be fair. I don't think anybody would look good on a regular diet of guarding Justin Jefferson, but those are my two key X factors there for the Bears: offensive line, and how is the secondary going to look with Jalen Johnson at less than 100%.
All right, now it's our next round, the 5 round. What do you feel your team, the Bears, can take advantage of NFC North rival Minnesota Vikings to go in your team's benefit in Soldier Field for this Monday night? Adam, we'll start with you.
Start with me. All right. Glenn, you brought it up. This is going to be J.J. McCarthy's first NFL start. He's not a rookie, but he's not really a second-year quarterback either. It's one thing to be sitting there in the meetings. It's one thing to be taking notes and putting it up on the whiteboard and breaking it down in the film room. It is a whole other thing to have the helmet on, to be out on the field, and then to have the defense across from you. That to me is a definite advantage, where Dennis Allen, with he is just as a creative, exotic defensive coordinator as Brian Flores can be and will be. Dennis Allen has some of that in him as well. With this being McCarthy's first start, this is a great opportunity to, all right, you've seen it on film, but now can you actually process this and recognize it when you're under center or in the shotgun in real time? I feel like that's definitely an area that the Bears can exploit here in week 1.
Absolutely. And now we're going to go to Glenn's thoughts now on this 5 round.
All right. So Adam, yeah, I agree. I mean, this is his first time under center in shotgun against a live defense. And Dennis Allen does, to a certain extent, scare me a bit. But the one thing that J.J. McCarthy has in his corner and in his ear is Kevin O'Connell, and who has been able to make even Josh Dobbs look like a competent quarterback. So I think that's one thing that where we're going to be able to take advantage of is that Kevin O'Connell is going to be in his ear. And I think that they're going to be taking it easy. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to really force the Bears to stop Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. I think those two guys are going to get a ton of carries in the game. When McCarthy does have to pass, I think he's going to be trying to keep it simple, underneath routes, hitting TJ Hawkinson. Adam Thielen's back. He knows the offense. Just be able to get some underneath routes where it's almost like a handoff. I think that's going to be the key for the Vikings to be able to take advantage of any kind of aggressiveness that Dennis Allen throws their way. And then I guess the other piece too is Brian Flores. I think he's going to try and take advantage of those new offensive linemen for the Bears. I mean, yeah, they're all new guys. They're all experienced, but they haven't played together as much as, and granted, the Vikings have 3 new offensive linemen in the interior of their offensive line too, but at least Ryan Kelly and Wolf Rice played together in Indianapolis. So they know how to play next to each other, and Donovan Jackson's looked great. So I think they're going to be really trying to maul the front 7 of the Bears. And yeah, I think that's going to be where they're going to try and take advantage.
All right, this is going to be pretty good because people don't forget Jordan Mason did have a good streak with the Niners, filling in for the injured Christian McCaffrey last year. And Teran will introduce us to our 3rd round.
So now we jump on into round 3, the lightning round. We'll start with you, Glenn. What is your game plan for your team, and what does your team need to do to win this opening kickoff game against the Chicago Bears?
Okay. Well, as I mentioned in the last segment, it's going to be running the ball. And I think on defense, it's confusing Caleb Williams, keeping him in the pocket. That's the thing with Brian Flores is he's got so many tools on this defense that he can shuffle guys around, look like they're playing one coverage and play something completely different. If they can keep Caleb Williams confused as to what the coverage is and keep him in the pocket so he can't just scramble around and throw off his back foot and you make a Hail Mary type of play. That's going to be the key game. That's got to be the game plan for the Vikings going forward. That was. Let me see if there's any other notes ahead. No, I think that's going to be it. Really, control the trenches and confuse Caleb Williams. Keep him in the pocket.
All right, nice little breakdown right there. Pretty simple and simple and to the point. How about you, Adam? What do the Chicago Bears need to do in order to win this game and start the season off 1-0? And what's the plan?
Glenn, you can tell that you and I have watched a lot of NFC North, NFC Central football. Take that game plan, and we're just going to translate it to the Bears. You've got to run the ball in this game. If you want to have a successful passing attack, you want to slow down Brian Flores in the exotic blitz package. It is run. It is get DeAndre Swift in a rhythm. It is Roschon Johnson or Kyle Monangai, whichever of the other running backs are going to be healthy enough to use on Monday night. Feature a heavy dose of run. Get the ball inside with Monangai or Johnson, outside with Swift. Keep the passes simple and easy early. Get Caleb in a rhythm. Get him on time. Get him on target. He's shown a little bit of a propensity for that in the preseason. The little bit that they used him against the Bills, an opening drive that was just chef's kiss beautiful in there. There was also then the following week against the Chiefs where it took until the 2-minute offense to really get things going. Find a rhythm there for Caleb, but run the ball, pound the rock, and win the turnover battle. Do not turn the ball over more than once offensively. The team that has multiple takeaways defensively in this game is the team that will win this game. It doesn't matter how those takeaways come, interceptions, fumbles, what have you. The team that has multiple takeaways will win this game. Whoever limits it to one or fewer, that's who's going to win this game. Those are your huge things for this one.
All right. The audience feels the debate is very even so far, and you guys are squeaking out to become 1-0. And Josh agreed, no clue who to pick yet. That's a really good thing. As before, I want to introduce everyone, even though I kind of introduced it during the Jets Steelers earlier in the first half, create a new IESR exclusive question, kind of like your Ask Personal questions in real life, but we are with our teams in IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. So we're going to have Adam go with the insider exclusive round, which everyone gets a personal question. And this is, which offensive weapon, because Caleb Williams has a lot to prove being the number one pick a year ago, and the Hail Mary in DC kind of ruined that team and the dominoes falling. And a lot of these offensive guys have potential, but some of them really need to rise up. One of them, a rookie they drafted, could have a breakout year, but like Brock Bowers did last year. Which offensive weapon out of second year, Roman Duze, veteran Cole Kmet, the DJ Moore, who once in a while has really good games to the Bears, or the hyping rookie Colston Loveland is going to help Caleb Williams the most to improve this season?
Do you want me to focus on this game or on the season as a whole?
I would say the season as a whole.
The season as a whole, Roma Dunze, I want to see that second year jump out of Rome. There were so many times last season where Caleb and Rome were on a similar wavelength, but couldn't quite figure it out to get the connections. It would be Rome thought it was supposed to be 17 yards and cut, and Caleb thought it was supposed to be 20 yards and then cut, or vice versa. Or, I wanted you to curl back and instead you faded. One or the other. If Rome and Caleb can get on the same page consistently, Rome can be the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this offense. That's kind of what you can see out of this from Rome Odunze. If he can take that second year step, he could become a monster. Nothing against the other guys, but I was just as excited that the Bears took Rome as they did Caleb a season ago. I want to see that out of Rome this season.
All right. Very good. To add on, before I let Teran introduce this side question to Glenn, I would like to say this last year's rookie receivers had a great class, including Xavier Worthy from the Kansas City Chiefs. There was a lot, and Malik Neighbors, who had an amazing year despite having no quarterback for the New York Giants. So I can see your excitement for Rome. But here you go, Teran.
I'm also going to add to that receiver class, and I'm surprised you didn't name this one, Brian. Ladd McConkey from last year.
Oh, God. We passed on him. We shouldn't have.
Yep. So I'd have to bring that up, but the Chargers had a hit on that one. But anyway, now for your potpourri round question, Glenn. And I think we should call it the potpourri round going forward because it could be about anything. But your question, Glenn, will Justin Jefferson's injury be a critical factor in the Vikings game plan for Monday's game against the Bears, or is this just going to be nothing too big or groundbreaking?
Well, I know that there's been a lot of talk about his hamstring because I think he strained it early on in training camp and never really pushed it during practices. But he was the last couple of weeks he'd been on the sidelines, running around. I think it's much ado about nothing. I think they're going to take it easy on his hamstring. They don't want to push it too hard. But I don't think that it was going to be a big part. He was going to be a huge part of the game plan for the game in general, even without anything with his hamstrings, just because, again, I think they're going to want to try to keep it simple, keep things underneath, short passes for McCarthy. I don't know. I don't think that his hamstring is going to be a huge factor. I really think it's healthier than what people are thinking. I think they're maybe playing a little cat and mouse game with the Bears, and he's going to be fine, and then we'll be running down the field. Who knows? But it makes it something that the Bears have to game plan for, is that that he's likely going to be out there, and keep him guessing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Glenn. But one thing I will add is, for a bunch of people that play fantasy football out there, you don't want this hamstring to turn into something like Christian McCaffrey with his leg injury last year, first round. Even though Jefferson wasn't one overall in most fantasy leagues, he was pretty high up there, kind of like McCaffrey was the number one overall pick. And he was supposed to play that Sunday. People had him on his roster. And then not only did he miss game one, he missed the rest of at least 10 weeks. And you don't want that to happen to Jefferson. I don't think the NFL wants that either.
Oh, you make a great point there. Yeah, I definitely do not want that to happen. I was in one of my leagues last year. I did draft Christian McCaffrey with the first overall pick, and it left me more than a little upset when I think he was on the inactive report that first week, because I really hadn't heard anything about his Achilles. But
all right.
Anyway,
you'll answer this final round, and I will let my co-host take the reins from here for this round.
All right, now for the final round. Try to sell it to the audience, both of you, on why you won this face-off, and heck, why you think your team will win, and give us a final score prediction if you want. So we'll start off with Glenn.
All right. Well, I think Adam's obviously very knowledgeable about the Bears. I like to think that I'm pretty knowledgeable about the Vikings. I do think that the Vikings are going to win the game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be fairly low scoring. But when you think about the improvements in the trenches between both teams, The Bears added 3 interior offensive linemen. So did the Vikings. The Vikings added 2 Pro Bowl defensive tackles to their front 7. And I think that's going to be a huge difference, because the one weakness last year for the Vikings was the fact that they could not create any pass rush from the interior of the defensive line. With these 2 guys, you're going to be able to see a lot of changes from Flores and how he rushes. He can send 4 guys, but it looked like it's 6 guys coming. Anyway, so that's the reason why I think that's going to be a Vikings win. I would say probably in that 17-13 range, fairly low scoring, but 3-4 point difference for the Vikings.
I like it. Great stuff right there, Glenn. Now, how about you, Adam? Try to sell it to the audience. Why do you think you won this face-off? And what's the final thoughts on this thing? And give us the final score for Vikings Bears.
Glenn, I enjoy talking football with you. This is always fun. Well, hockey too, when you come on Neutral Zone. I enjoy talking sports with you, Glenn. It's always a good time. I always enjoy these. So I hope that the audience had fun watching it. Honestly, we enjoy the banter back and forth. And when it's divisional rivals, it's always a good time. And we just agree that, no matter what, we want the Packers to lose. As for this game in particular, it's at Soldier Field. Ben Johnson in his first game as a head coach. Ben Johnson is another X factor in this one. The last couple of years, he has been able to solve the Brian Flores defensive conundrum, averaging about 38 points a game, over 380 yards of offense in those 4 games, and the Lions winning all 4 of those games. Now, I do not expect offensive fireworks in this game. Glenn, you and I are once again very much aligned on what the score will be. I have not seen what the over-under is on this game. If you are a betting person, pound the under, whatever number they set it at. If that first digit is a 4, pound the under, because if either team breaks 20 in this game, I will be surprised. I do think this is going to be a 1st to 17 kind of battle for Bears fans, for my fellow Bears fans. I caution patience. I think both of these offenses are going to look very herky-jerky. One drive is going to look spectacular, and then it's going to be followed by 3 consecutive drives where you fail to get past your own 40 because you can't get out of your own way. That's just what you're going to see in a game like this. It's not going to be the most stellar television, but it's 2 offenses learning how to take the next step. I think with it being at Soldier Field, with Ben Johnson, it being his first game as head coach, I do give the Bears the edge in it, but it's going to be a very low scoring 20-13, 17-13 kind of affair. Give me the Bears because it's at home and I'm a fan and I don't want to predict starting 0-1 on the season. But this is going to be a very old style 30, 40 years ago, smash mouth, lots of grinded out style football in this one.
All right, very good, guys, from the both of you right now. And we are going to go back. We're going to talk about the face-offs, and we're going to give the audience a chance to choose a face-off of not only 2 NFC North and Central rivals, but 2 guys who are regularly co-hosts weekly here on IE Sports Radio. So how did you feel tonight, Teran, about our first ever double face-off?
I really liked it, and I'm glad we had a first when it comes to this whole thing. It gets us into the spirit of the NFL and how it basically is so close. We are less than 24 hours away from the kickoff of the first game of the NFL season of 2025-26, and I'm happy we had this face-off between 2 division rivals and 2 knowledgeable people of our insider group that really know their football.
Absolutely. Football is not only the most popular sport in America, but for IE Sports Radio, it's a heart and soul, especially you and our CEO, Larry Teran, do a great job every Saturday morning, I believe, on 3 and Out. Not only just football and college, but high schools around the country as well. I give you props on that.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, so let's have the audience go. I'm going to start a count from 10 in a sec, but let's see the first one going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Come on, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Joey Jets, a winner 2-0, and our winner earlier tonight said, so close, could go really either way. But I'd say Adam by a slim margin. So that's one. So Josh has the Vikings going over the Bears. But what does it mean? Will it be even, and will Adam win the face-off? So Josh said, my heart says JJ will go off, but my head said another JJ won't be able to get the first JJ the ball.
And that is a conundrum when you're a wide receiver. You are so dependent upon your quarterback.
Absolutely. Yep. You definitely are. This is not only what people tend to forget. Obviously, we had Rodgers against Fields. We got Jackson versus Allen this weekend, which is going to be amazing. But you got two guys in the same draft class. One was out in ACL tail, but Darnold played well in front of him. J.J. McCarthy. You also have Caleb Williams looking to prove himself to all experts. And Jaden Daniels took the ball that everyone thought Caleb Williams would do.
So McCarthy's knee injury was a torn meniscus, not an ACL. It was just a torn meniscus. That's what put him out for the year. So it's not like he's coming off of that kind of a surgery. So I think he's I think JJ McCarthy's going to be. I think he's going to be all right. He's moved around pretty well in the preseason from what I've seen.
And congratulations, we do have a winner, folks, and it is a Chicago insider, Adam Carnick.
Good job, Adam. Well deserved.
Thank you. Glenn, you did an excellent job too. I have fun with these. I have fun.
Me too.
With these. I enjoy it. So
I'll send a message to all our insiders right now, of future insiders. If you're watching on the replay, please be proactive. Please try to get another insider. If your team has a big game or a big rivalry game, please hit me, Teran, Larry, or even these guys up there, primetime hosts too. Come on their shows, please, because the more we have, the more fun it is. And I'm having a blast tonight. I know Teran is too. Glenn, Adam, we have a great time here in IE Sports Radio. And what is your winning speech, Adam?
It's real simple. Bears keep it simple this week. Don't turn the ball over. Pound that rock, and let's come away with the W. Start the Ben Johnson era off right.
Score more points than the other team.
Exactly. If that means if 14 gets it done, then 14 gets it done.
And as the great John Madden would say, former legendary, you got to score some touchdowns, and I'll draw random imaginary marks to state the obvious. I am looking forward.
The team that scores the more points wins the game.
All right. He was laughing at the JJ stuff earlier. And thank you, Josh. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Joey. Any last words, Glenn or Adam, before you guys sign off for the night?
No, just again, thanks for having me on. It was a blast to do this, and I hope to banter again with you, Adam. Maybe during the game, or maybe we can get in one of these chat rooms and just watch the game at the same time as each other. It'd be a lot of fun.
We'll have some fun. Absolutely, we'll have some fun this season.
Yes. All right, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you,
guys. Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Teran. What a night. Our first ever double face-off. We never thought this day would come.
Yep. And now it was finally here, and we got it done. And yes, It was a very fun, productive show. Got 2 face-offs knocked out just before the NFL kickoff.
And we got another face-off coming next week. It is one of the biggest anticipating weeks after what's probably going to be a historic episode. It is Eagles versus the Chiefs. As Tyler, our insider, he's St. Louis, but he's our Bird insider, will be on air next week. He is excited for this, as the whole country is, a Super Bowl rematch. And one of our insiders, whether it's Bob T, who was here a few weeks ago, or will the franchise, Brandon Buck, come represent for the Arrowhead Chiefs. I cannot wait for this matchup. I'm sure you can't either. The game we probably thought we were going to get in February.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very fun matchup. Rematch of last year's Super Bowl. The unfortunate thing is that this one's not going to be on prime time, but it is what it is, and it's still going to be a fun little matchup, and we're excited to have this face-off.
Absolutely. Who isn't? You got Hurts, the tush push, Saquon Barkley, one of the Russian leaders, also A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They don't have Milton Williams, but you got the Kansas City Chiefs with, obviously, you debated against them last week. They may be 1-0 coming in as Kelsey got engaged to pop star Taylor Swift and Pat Mahomes. I cannot wait for this. Any final words before we sign off, Teran?
No, not many. I just think that it's great to have the NFL back, and for NFL fans that have been chomping at the bit, don't worry. It's almost here. You've been waiting patiently, and it's going to be a fun season.
All right. Thank you, everyone. You can find us next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and enjoy this first ever week of NFL season. Not ever. I'm over-exaggerating. Make sure you win your bets if you're a betting guy. Hopefully you beat your friend unless you're watching, and hopefully you have a good time unless you're playing me in fantasy. Anyways, this is the moment it's like Christmas for us sports fans. I cannot wait. My Patriots will be taking on the Raiders. They should be a lot better than a full win season. I'm looking forward to that. And you got teams to look forward to, Teran.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Any last words before we sign off?
No, I think I've said pretty much what I've said.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Hawaii Sports Radio, your direct feed for
all that is sports. Have a great night. Enjoy the NFL tomorrow. We'll see you next week.